So hello guys, welcome back with another video of Salesforce Geek channel, and in this video we are going to learn a lot of things. For example, we are going to learn how you can use ISNEW and ISCHANGED in your Salesforce Flow. So basically, let me share the today's scenario. So today's scenario is if I open a particular lead record, right? So here I am in the detail record page, right? So here you can see we have a custom field called business types, and here are several values called permanent staffing, background verification, label to advisory, and others, right? So we have a requirement from client. So let's say whenever a user select permanent staffing, so the lead should be assigned to a particular user. If we select background verification, then the lead is assigned to another user, and this should work on creation as well as on updation. For example, someone created a lead and select permanent staffing, so that automatically assigned to a particular user. And as well as if let's say there is a lead and later on someone trying to change the business type, so that time also this lead should assign to a particular user. And also we need to send an email once the lead is assigned to particular user, right? So how I am going to build a flow, like I'm going to build a flow from scratch, and I will let you know how I am going to rectify a lot of issues, right? Like issues in terms of while I'm going to create a flow, there are a lot of scenarios which I need to make sure that it doesn't work like that, right? So without any delay, let's get started. So right now you can see, like Shubham, we can also create an assignment rule for that, right? But assignment rule only work on at the time of insertion. But we need to we need to automate our process on update as well. So that's why I'm going to use record triggered flow for that. And let's create a new flow. Obviously it's going to be the record triggered flow, right? So select record triggered flow over there, click create. And now obviously the object is lead, and I need to configure my trigger on created or updated. Now in the condition requirement, I am going to add a single condition, which is business type is null boolean false, because I don't want my flow to run if there is no business type. There is no point if business type field is blank, right? So that's why I selected business type is null boolean false. Here I need to select every time a record is updated and meets the condition requirement. Now action and related record I need to select, because I also need to send email to the user or owner of the record, right? The reason I can also use fast field update, but in the case where I don't need to send email to the user, but now in this case I need to send email, that's why I use action and related record. Simply click done. Now our start element is almost ready. So as you know that we have two outcomes here, or two decisions we need to make, either whether the lead business type is permanent staffing and whether the lead business type is background verification. If it is permanent staffing, then I need to assign a particular user, and if it is a business type, if it is background verification, I need to assign to a particular user. So let's say I am going to create a decision element here, and let's say check for business type, right? And in the label I am going to type permanent staffing. Now here I need to simply type record global variable, because record global variable store the current record which triggers the flow, and simply type here business type equals permanent staffing, and I need to create one more outcome, that is background verification. Again, record global variable dot business type equals background verification. So our two outcomes are ready. Now you can see the flow is trifurcated into three parts: permanent staffing, background verification, and it is a default outcome. So I'm not going to provide anything into the default outcome. In the default outcome, I'm only going to use these two, which is permanent staffing and background verification. So as you know that now I need to use a update triggering record because I need to update the owner IDs, right? So here I am going to type update record, and in the field I need to select owner ID because I need to change the owner of the lead. So here basically I stored the ID into a custom label which owner I need to assign to that particular lead, right? You can also use that custom label in your scenario, or you can use a get record element to fetch the user ID over there. But simply I don't want to make it like complicated for a normal user who just want to assign that particular lead to a particular user, right? I will let you know what I am talking about. So let's say I am going to provide this, I am going to map this owner ID to, let's say, permanent staffing, right? So here you can see when I click label, you will see two custom label over there, which is background verification and permanent staffing. So I am storing the user IDs over there. So let me just click on permanent staffing and click done. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So if I go into quick find and type custom label here and click on it, here you will see I have two custom label, right? Let me open permanent staffing. I just created a permanent staffing custom label, and in the value I am storing the user ID basically, right? So that's how I am doing it, and simply I am referring this in Flow Builder. Now the thing is, let's say in future someone want to assign that particular lead to a particular user. Let's say the user is now changed. So simply what that particular user who is not technical, he just need to change this record ID, right, and map with the new user ID. So it's like we don't need to change anything in our Salesforce Flow, right? So let me just move to Salesforce Flow Builder again, and I also need to do the same for the background verification. So let me just type update record and let's say update record, and I need to simply change the API name because it is already used. Now I am going to type owner ID, and in the value I am going to select background verification, and let me just click on done. So now you can see our flow basic layout is almost ready, right? Let me just click on save this flow and type lead assignment by business type. Let me just save this flow and let's try to activate it. Now let me just move to Bertha Boxer. Right now you can see lead owner is Shivang Tomar, right? And when the business type is background verification. Let me change the background verification to permanent staffing, and I am going to hit save. So right now you can see now lead owner is changed to Tulika Khanduri. So basically for permanent staffing, I am mapping my record to Tulika, and for background verification, I am mapping my record to Shivang Tomar. So I have two users basically in my org. Just for the testing purpose, I created two users. Probably if you are in a sandbox or something, you have more users. According to the use case, you can do that. Apart from that, what I want to let you know is when my flow need to change the record owner, it is working fine. I also need to send email. So what I am going to do, I am going to click on the plus button, and here I am going to use action element, and in the action I am going to simply type send email, and I am going to use the second one. Now let's say in the label I am going to provide let's send email and API name. Now in the body I am going to create a text template for, let's say, permanent staffing body, and in the body parameter what I am going to type is, first of all, hey, now the user to whom we are going to send this email. So let's say record global variable. So there is kind of issue. We need to type twice just to make a text template. I don't know why it is, but from a long time it is like that. So simply I'm going to type record dot owner dot name. So first name I am going to select, right? Hey, and whatever the name it is, let's say Shivang. Hey Shivang, this lead has been assigned to you. Please follow up with the lead. Now I am going to provide the information, let's say company and POC, person of contact. So let's say this, and let's say I also going to provide the dynamic link of the record so that user can simply click on that link and thank you. Now in the company, obviously I am going to type record. So again I need to type record over there. Company, point of contact as record first name. Now you will say, Shubham, why you are not using the full name? Because I tried using full name, but it does not populate the what you can say name of the lead. So that's why I'm using separating first name and last name like that. So simply I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Instead of first, I'm going to type last. Now in the record link, I will let you know there is a formula which I checked, or you can say created, to make it a dynamic. So for example, you can use that formula in your sandbox and you don't need to change later on in your production. That formula will provide you the dynamic link according to your org URL. So I will let you know. I will also put down that formula into the dynamic into the description of this video. So let me just click on done for now, and let me just copy paste this body. Click done. Now let's say lead assign. Now in the lead email address comma separated, I am going to send this email to the owner and simply type email over there. And obviously it's a rich text, so I am going to select the rich text formatted body as true. And after that I am going to click on done. Now similarly for the update record element, I am also going to send email. So let's say send email. So let's say add 0 or something like that. In the body I am going to write, I am going to create a new resource, and this time for text template, let's say background verification body. And in the body I am going to paste the earlier body, and here I am going to add something, background verification leads are high priority, are on priority, please follow up ASAP. So here you can see now the body is changed, right? Like both the bodies now changed, and that's the purpose of this video. I want to let you know, if you have different body, right, then you need to use separate send email action. And later on I am also going to create a video, let's say if you have different body, then how you can merge into a single send email action, right? So for now I am just creating two send email over there. If my body is same, then I can also use a single send email action, right? But for now I have two different bodies and still I am using two send email action, but there is a way I can merge them into a single entity, right? I will create a second video after this video, right, where I let you know that how you can merge these two. So for now, that's why I'm creating two send email action in my flow, and I also need to populate this record link. Just give me a minute, I will get back to it. And let me just click on done for now. Subject as lead assigned. Now let's say if you want to make it dynamic, what you can do here, simply cut this and type here record dot what it is, business type, and here after that you can add lead assigned, right? And in the comma separated, what you can do, basically you need to provide the record dot owner dot email, and rich text formatted body as true, and here we go. Simply click on done. Now you will see our flow is almost ready. Click on save as, and let's click on activate. Now let's move to the Bertha boxer. For now you can see it is permanent staffing, right? I am going to change it to background verification, because in background verification I have my email ID, but for the other one which is permanent staffing, Tulika's email ID is over there, so that's why I'm not testing for Tulika, otherwise she will bombarded with emails. So right now I'm testing with background verification. Let me just click on save. So we have some error. Let me just look into it. Go to your flow and let's say try to update edit element and background verification. Everything looks fine. Let me just try to debug it. And for that I'm going to write Bertha boxer update. I'm going to change the background to background verification and hit run. So now in the background verification is null boolean false. Then decision type, we have record business background verification equals permanent staffing. Label dot background verification. Okay, I think this is the issue. I didn't type label dot background verification. I put only the background verification over there. Let me just click on done and also check for this. So yeah, here you can see label dot permanent staffing. That's why we are getting the error, because in the update record element we don't use background label dot background verification where we are storing the ID, right? So that's why we are getting the issue. Let me just click on save as and hit save, and let's activate it. So it's kind of good we are getting this kind of error in the demo, so that you can also understand you will also face this kind of issue, like you can select something else instead of something, right? So let's move to the record and now try to save the record by changing the business type. So let me just go to business type, to background verification, and let me just try to save the record. So here you can see Shivang Tomar is now changed, and probably I will also receive an email. So let me just check my email. Let me just go back. So now here you can see, yeah, background verification lead assigned. So right now you will see this lead has been assigned to you. Please follow up with the lead. Farmer Scoop of Florida, Bertha boxer. Background verification leads are on high priority. Please follow as soon as possible. Right, record link is this. So now we are missing with the record link. I will now go back to my flow and just click on edit flow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new resource. Instead of variable I need to select formula, and in API name let's say I'm going to type record link, data type text, and inside the formula I am going to add a value which I am going to share with you as well, and I will also let you know what you need to change in order to let's say if you want to add a formula in your flow, so let me just paste this formula over there, and you can see simply we are creating a dynamic org URL here, and after that we are appending this Record.Id. So Record.Id basically provide the ID to us, right? Let's say right now I am in a record triggered flow, so that's why I'm using record global variable then .id. Let's say if you are in a screen flow and you want to send an email by dynamic URL, what you need to do, you need to simply add the record ID over there by storing that ID into some variable or something, right? So that's why this will provide us the dynamic URL. So let me just click on done. I will also paste this in the description of this video. Let me just click on done for now. And now what I need to do is in the send email, not in the send email, in the verification body, after record link, I need to add this formula and click on it. You can see now this will populate the dynamic URL. Let me just click on done and hit save as. For now I am just updating it for the, what you can say, background verification, and let me just click on activate. Now let me just move to some other lead, and let's say Betty Bear. Sorry, let's try with Bertha Boxer, because I also let you know what is the loophole of this, what I can say, yeah, loophole of this flow. So let's say I'm going to change the rating from hot to cold or warm. Let me just save this and let's try whether we received an email or not. So let's move to email. Yeah, we received an email, and that's the loophole of this flow, because we only want to send email that this lead has been assigned to you when the background type is changed, right? Or when the lead is created with the value populated, which is business type. Now this is the loophole, right? So we need to alter our flow. Let's move back to the in the start element, and what I'm going to do, as we are checking for now for the null, whether the business type is null, boolean false, I'm also going to add one more condition, which is business type is changed, boolean true. So if I add this condition, right, what it will do, it will only run when this particular field is changed. Let me just save the flow and activate it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add, let's say, number of employees and try to save this. Now my flow will not run. Let me also show you in the debug, right, so that you can also follow it. I'm going to select Bertha Boxer, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to update record, and let's say I'm going to change the number of employees to 35 and run. So right now you can say not triggered, but let's say instead of this I am going to remove this condition and click done. Let's say save as, and I'm going to debug again. Let's say 35 and try to run again. So this time you can see our flow is executed, but we don't want that. We only want it should send email when a particular field is changed, that is business type, right? So what I'm going to do is add condition, business type is changed, boolean true, and click done, hit save as and activate it. Now there is one more loophole. I just love it explaining these loopholes when we are building flow, so that you can also understand these basic things, right? Let me just try to create a lead. Now you will see in the start element we configure our flow on two condition, which is a record is created or updated. Then we have two condition, which is business type is null boolean false and business type is changed boolean true, right? These two conditions should be true to trigger get fired, right? Now I will move into the leads, and let me just create a new lead for that. Now I am going to type, let's say Shubham, company, let's say Geeky Trails, and what I'm going to do now here, let's say business type as permanent staffing, and hit save. So if you go to the detail, you can see owner is not changed, and the reason behind this, when a new record is created, right, this condition, which is the second one, business type is changed boolean true, is not get triggered. Although when you try to debug it here, let's say I am going to create a record, and here I am going to select, let's say, some lead which I just created, right, which is Shubham, and I am going to click run. You will see that it is working fine, right? It's working in permanent staffing. But when it comes to execution in the real use cases, right, it does not execute it. Salesforce does not take a check like whether the initial value is null, then it's changing to permanent staffing. It will take the first value as permanent staffing, and it doesn't compare with the second condition. So our second condition failed, and that's why we are not changing the record owner in our creation, or you can say while we are creating the record. So in order to create the record, we need to remove this condition. But again, if we remove this condition, we have another kind of problem, like it should work on each and every single update. Let's say if we are going to change any of the field on the record, it should get fired and send an email unnecessarily. So we need to make a workaround for this kind of situation, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on done right now, and just to let you know that if I remove that condition, it should work on creation, right? So I'm going to activate it and move to the lead records, and I'm also going to create a new record here as well. So now this time I'm going to add, let's say, Tulika. Here I'm going to type Khanduri, and company, let's say, test. And this time I'm going to add business type as background verification, and let me just save this record. And here you can see lead owner is now changed to Shivang Tomar. And this is the thing, and probably I also received an email. Let me just check. So here you can see background verification lead assigned. Hey Shivang, the lead has been assigned to you. Please follow up with the lead. Company is test. POC is Tulika Khanduri. And now you will see background verification leads this, and we have a dynamic URL as well. So if I click on the dynamic URL, you will see I am redirected to the same record that I just created. So this is, I want to let you know that if you remove the second condition, it should work fine for the record creation. But if you remove that condition, it then create another problem for update. Now you will say, now Shubham, how to get rid of these two conditions, right? So here I am with the solution. I'm going to edit my flow and going to create a new formula where I want to check whether whether it should also work for the record creation and also work for the updation when only a particular value is changed. So I am going to write run, right? I'm just going to create a API name as run, data type as boolean, and here I'm going to create my formula by using a or condition between. So we have a formula called, or you can say function called ISNEW. So ISNEW basically check whether the record is newly created or not. If it is newly created, it will return true, and if it is not, then it will return false. So in the time of creation, it will return true, right? So I am also going to add one more condition in this or function, which is changed. Basically that will check whether the field is changed or not. So between this I am going to use record dot what our field is business type. So I am going to select business type over here. Now you will see our formula is created. If the field is changed, then this will return right true, and if it is new, then ISNEW will return true here. So I am going to use this formula and simply going to click on done. Now I am going to use this formula in my flow. So what I can do is I am going to use it in the start element along with my business type is null boolean false, and add here run, sorry, in this release, right? In release means I am in the normal developer org. So in the start element, I cannot add any formula resource, right, or formula condition. But in the summer 22 release, we have the option, we can append the formula into the start element. So I just to let you know that you can also use your formula inside start element after the summer 22 release. So I will just let you know, let me just go into the pre-release org, and in the quick find I am going to simply type flows and click on flow. Now let's move into new flow. So you can also use, as we are working on the record triggered flow and it's a record triggered flow feature, I am going to click on record triggered flow and click create. And if I go into the start element, here you will see formulas for condition. That means we can also add formula in our condition. So let's say I'm going to select account, and in the condition requirement you will see formula evaluates to true. And you can simply type your formula that we just created or something, right? So just to let you know that you can also add that condition, which is a run condition, in your start element when the summer 2022 release is available for all the orgs, right? So for now, what I am going to do is I am going to add that run condition in my decision element by adding a condition here, which is run equals true. And similarly for the background verification, I am also going to add this run equals true. And let me just click on done, click on save as. Now let me just try to activate it. Now what I am going to do is I am going to into my lead record and I am going to create one new lead record. So let's say Shyam Sharma, and in the company let's say Days Works, and in the business type I am going to select background verification, and let me just click on save. So now you can see lead owner is changed to Shivang Tomar, and probably I also received an email. So let's check the email. So here you can see, hey Shivang, this lead has been assigned to this, right? And everything is working quite fine. Now let me just move into leads and also show you that if I move into any of the particular lead, and here if I change the mobile, let's say not for this one because I cannot show you email in this. So let's say if I move to Bertha Boxer, here you can see background business type is background verification. So in earlier case what I am doing is if I change any of the field, let's say if I change the number of employees to 34 to 35, although I am not making any change to business type, right? So I should not receive an email. Let me just click on save. Let's move to email, whether I received any email or not, and let's try to refresh it. So no, I didn't receive any email over there. But let's say if I changed the business type field over there, let me just go to Shubham, and here I am going to change the business type to permanent staffing to, let's say, background verification, and click save. So this time I should receive an email because you can say background verification lead owner is changed to Shivang Tomar, and probably I should receive an email. Let me just refresh. So here you can see background verification lead has been assigned to you. Please follow up with the lead. Geek Trails, POC Shubham, and it is the dynamic link. So that's the today's agenda, like how you need to create your flow, where you can see a lot of difficulty while building it, like some use cases you need to test. It should not work on all the field updates. It should work for a particular field update, right? Then when we use ISCHANGED, we have a problem while creating a lead, right? Because it should not fire, triggered will not fire at the time of creation. That's why we implemented a formula which is or is new comma is assigned is changed, and that's how we build our flow. I hope you like this video, and probably you learned something new from this video. So thank you so much if you are watching this video till now, and thank you for all the love and support.